don't just want the news, they want the truth. What others hide, I bring to you with evidence. Politics, corruption, human rights. No filters, no fear, just facts. I don't stop until the system shakes. Hello and welcome. This is Makhdoom Shahabuddin and you're watching Trending Daily. On January 31st, 2026, Pakistan woke up to one of the most coordinated and violent insurgent assaults in its recent history. In a span of just few hours, multiple districts of Balochistan were hit simultaneously. Quetta, Gwadar, Mastung, Noshki, Dalbandin, Kharan, Panjgor, Tamp and Pasni all came under attack. Police stations, frontier corps posts, markets, highways, a high security prison and sensitive installations were targeted with chilling precision. This was not a routine militant strike. This was a message. Gunmen armed with automatic weapons, grenades, rocket launchers, and suicide vests launched what the Fitna al-Hindustan Baloch Liberation Army later called Operation Hiraf. The attackers moved in coordinated cells, hitting more than 10 locations almost at this very same time. Civilian areas were not spared. Markets were attacked, roads were blocked, and fear was the weapon. By the end of the first day, at least 31 civilians and 15 security personnel had been martyred. But what followed over the next 40 hours would change the entire trajectory of the crisis and send a powerful signal both inside and outside Pakistan. Pakistan's response was swift, coordinated, and relentless. Within minutes of the first alerts, the Pakistan Army, Frontier Corps, Rangers, police, CTD units, and elite counter-terrorism forces were mobilized. Helicopters were airborne, quick reaction forces sealed at the urban centers, intelligence-based operations were launched across multiple districts simultaneously. Helicopters were airborne, quick reaction forces sealed urban centers. Intelligence-based operations were launched across multiple districts simultaneously. This was not a panic response. This was preparedness. According to Balochistan Chief Minister Sarfraz Bugti, intelligence agencies had already picked up partial signals of an impending major attack. While the exact scale was unknown, forces were placed on high alert. That single factor prevented militants from overrunning Quetta's red zone and seizing key government buildings. Saturday alone saw the elimination of 92 militants. Among them were multiple suicide bombers neutralized before they could reach their intended targets in Gwadar and Quetta. By Sunday evening, just 40 hours after the first shot was fired, the total number of neutralized terrorists had reached 145. Their bodies are now in state custody. Officials confirmed that several of the killed militants were foreign nationals, including individuals believed to be from Afghanistan. This revelation added a critical dimension to the narrative. This was not merely a local uprising. This was a transnational operation. Military analysts have since described the January 31st to February 1 counter-strike as one of the most decisive operations in Balochistan's history. The speed, coordination and precision of the response restored control, reopened highways and prevented the collapse of law and order. But the question remains, who was behind it? The BLA claimed responsibility and released propaganda videos showing armed fighters, including women, participating in the assaults. But Pakistan's leadership was quick to point beyond the group itself. Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi and Chief Minister Sarfraz Bugti both publicly named India as the primary architect behind the attacks. Naqvi stated with confidence that this was not an act of ordinary terrorism but a sophisticated foreign-funded operation planned and strategized across borders. Pakistan officially referred to the insurgent groups involved as Fitna al-Hindustan, the mischief of India. This terminology was not symbolic, it was strategic. Islamabad's position is clear. The insurgency in Balochistan is no longer viewed as a purely internal ethnic movement, but as a component of India's hybrid warfare doctrine aimed at destabilizing Pakistan, sabotaging the CPEC, and projecting the country as unsafe for investment. At the heart of Pakistan's accusations lies the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. CPEC, particularly Gwadar Port, represents a strategic shift in regional economics. It threatens existing power balances and offers Pakistan a path toward economic stabilization. According to Pakistani officials, this is precisely why it is under attack. The January 2026 assaults specifically targeted Gwadar and Pasni, areas critical to Chinese investment. Banks, ports, highways, and infrastructure were deliberately chosen. This was economic terrorism. Pakistan argues that the funding and directing proxy groups like the BLA, India seeks to turn Balochistan into a permanent war zone, discouraging Chinese and Western investors while increasing Pakistan's security burden. These are not new claims. Pakistan is repeatedly presenting what it calls proof points to the international community. And at the center of this evidence stands one name, Kulbhushan Jadhav. On March 3, Pakistani authorities arrested Kulbhushan Jadhav in Mashkhel, Balochistan. He was operating under the name Hossain Mubarak Patel and carrying an Iranian passport. According to Pakistan, Yadav was a serving commander in the Indian Navy working for RAW. In video confessions released by the military, Yadav admitted to organizing and funding terrorist activities in Balochistan and Karachi. He confessed to operating from Iran's Chabahar port, funneling money and weapons to insurgent groups and specifically targeting CPEC projects in Gwadar port. Beyond separatism, he was accused of fueling sectarian violence to create internal chaos. For Pakistan, Yadav is the smoking gun, the clearest evidence of Indian state-sponsored terrorism. Beyond individuals, Pakistan also points to structural support networks. Intelligence reports allege that BLA commanders have historically found refuge in neighboring countries with financial pipelines tracking back to RAW. Instances such as BLA commander Aslam Baloch receiving medical treatment in an Indian hospital are frequently cited as proof of high-level facilitation. The weapons recovered after the January 2026 attacks further strengthened Pakistan's claims. Suicide vests, advanced explosives, and military-grade arms suggested supply chains beyond the capacity of a local guerrilla group operating in isolation. Pakistan has also accused India of using diplomatic missions as operational hubs in the past, particularly consulates in Afghanistan before 2021, and networks operating through Iran. According to intelligence dossiers shared with the UN, these hubs allegedly provided training, funding, and logistical coordination to insurgent groups. India, for its part, has categorically denied all allegations. The Indian Ministry of External Affairs dismissed Pakistan's claims as baseless and frivolous, calling them a deflection tactic to cover governance failures and human rights issues in Balochistan. New Delhi insists it has no role in the violence and accuses Pakistan of externalizing internal problems, but New Delhi provides no proof of their innocence. Meanwhile, Pakistan has also placed pressure on the Afghan Taliban, accusing them of allowing insurgents to operate from Afghan soil. This has created a complex regional equation, one where Pakistan sees a proxy war unfolding across borders. Most importantly, public sentiment inside Balochistan also appears to be shifting. Residents in Quetta and Noshki reported panic during the initial hours, but also acknowledged that the rapid deployment of Frontier Corps and Special Services Group SSG units prevented a total breakdown of order. Highways like the M8 and N40 were cleared swiftly, allowing trade to resume, trade that serves as the economic lifeline of the province. Perhaps most significantly, recent BLA attacks that killed Baloch laborers in Gwadar have eroded whatever local sympathy the group once enjoyed. Many citizens now openly side with the state, viewing the insurgents not as freedom fighters but as foreign-funded terrorists. Many citizens now openly side with the state, viewing the insurgents not as freedom fighters but as foreign-funded disruptors. This marks a critical psychological shift. The January 2026 operation did more than eliminate militants. It restored confidence, it demonstrated state capacity, and it delivered a clear message. Pakistan will not allow its territory to be destabilized through proxies. From the arrest of Kulbhushan Jadhav to the dismantling of militant cells within 40 hours, Islamabad presents a consistent narrative. This is calculated hybrid warfare, not random insurgency. Pakistan has drawn red lines. Foreign interference will not be tolerated. Strategic projects will be protected. Sovereignty will be defended. The question now is not whether Pakistan can respond. It has shown that it can. The real question is whether the international community is willing to confront the realities of proxy warfare in South Asia, or whether strategic silence will allow the cycle to continue. For Pakistan, the message is firm and final. Attempts to weaken the state will fail. Those who challenge its security will face consequences, and the resolve shown in those 40 hours may well define the next phase of Pakistan's internal and regional security doctrine. This is Makhdoom Shahabuddin, and you're watching Trending Daily. See you in the next episode.